All right, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Critter Cloth, and I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my starting store. I'm not going nowhere. Ugh! So it's been quite some time since I've done a sneaker collection video. And I want to say approximately, estimatedly, probably, it's been 2 years since I've done a sneaker collection video. And honestly, since then, I've gotten rid of a lot of sneakers. I've sold a lot of sneakers, just given away a lot of sneakers. And I feel like where my sneaker collection currently stands now is probably the best it's ever been in my life, honestly. Because I feel like a lot of the sneakers that I have in my closet now are sneakers that I just absolutely like and I want. And I didn't necessarily, get it through a partnership, or I didn't, have to promote something. Like, all the sneakers in my closet get a rotation once a week at least. Now, I won't spend too much time talking about each individual sneaker or shoe, just because a lot of these shoes do have their own dedicated video on my page. So for the most part, I'm gonna try to give each individual shoe / sneaker 1 minute.
Stop the cap.
Talking about why I still have it and why I like it. But with that being said, I don't have a planned order that I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just go off vibes and just pick what I feel like I should talk about in that order. And I feel like there's no better way to start than the Yeezy 950, the Pirate Boot, the Dug Boot, whatever you want to call it. This was definitely one of those purchases that I knew, like, once I actually acquired the piece, no matter if I grew out of the shoe, no matter if they were beat to, no matter what the case was going to be, I'm going to keep these in my closet for as long as I can keep them. And I also did vlog the footage from when I went to go pick these up, because again, I was working at some shop in Austin, Texas. This dude saw I had the season 3 boots on. He was like, "Are you interested in buying any other Yeezy products?" And I was like, "Well, what do you have?" He showed me these on his phone, and he was like, "I'm trying to sell these. I've been trying to sell these for a while." The price point at which he was trying to sell these and the condition that they were in, I literally couldn't say no. I mean, as you can see, I didn't say no. Like, I had to get these. So once I confirmed that they were real, I was like, let's go ahead and do this deal, bro. So again, Yeezy 950, definitely one of my favorite shoes, boots, whatever you want to call it. Definitely one of my favorite. If I had to do like a top 10, this is probably in my top 10 with what's in my closet currently. And I feel like it's just nostalgic. Like, it's just one of those boots that like reminds me of like a certain time, like that 2017, 2016, because I think these came out in 2015. I want to say, I could be wrong there, but again, I'm talking too much. Like I said, I wasn't trying to talk too much about each individual shoe, but like, this is just one of those purchases that I knew once I got it, I had to keep them. I might as well just keep it going. Yeezy season 3 boot. Man, listen, again, I hate to try to be a glazer, but like pre-2020 or even pre-2018 Yeezy was just going crazy, bro. Like, again, I'm not going to spend too much time. I am looking for, this is the last Yeezy boot that I am looking for. The Yeezy season 3 boot. This boot, but I'm looking for the burnt sienna pair. That is a pair that Salehi Benberry had a hand in making. I don't know if he had a hand in making the overall silhouette of this boot, but I know that he directly had a hand with the burnt sienna pair. I need the burnt sienna pair. So if you're someone out there who knows someone that's selling them for a decent price, my price, if you know somebody selling a pair of the burnt sienna pair in a size 9.5, send them my direction. I think that is going to be the last Yeezy boot that I own. That is the last pair that I've just been like, I've been searching on Grilled, I've been searching on StockX, and I just can't find, again, that price point that I want to get them at, but the condition also matches that price point. But Yeezy season 3 boot. Okay, first sneaker on the list. Listen, I don't have to explain why the Jordan 4 calls are in my closet. I don't have to explain that. I feel like it's definitely, if you know, you know. And I hate to be that person, because I hate people that always be like, if you know, you know. But like, this is like, whenever I rock these outside and people see them, they be like, they give you like that, I see you, like, and I get it, because if I saw somebody out in public and they had the black pair on, I'd be like, I see you. Like, this is just one of those shoes, especially if you just like a Jordan lover. Like, I feel like it just makes sense. Like, this is like a sneakerhead's sneaker. Like, this is one of those shoes that no matter if I wear them down to complete nothing, I'm going to always have these in my closet. I think once it gets past the point where I can't wear them anymore, I might just put them like in a glass box or something just to showcase them, because it is just one of those collab shoes, one of those shoes that's just like, come on. Like, I feel like I'm over explaining it. But the Jordan 4 calls. Now, I definitely want to talk about these shoes early in this video. This is going to be the Nike Astro Grabbers collaboration with Dore. I feel like these shoes were heavily slept on. I feel like people slept on these crazy. And I did see kind of like interest peak after like a few months after release, but I feel like they were still slept on. And I feel like at the time I was looking for a low top sneaker, low profile sneaker, and I just wasn't feeling Sambas. And when I saw these, it just made sense. Like, they were, you know, unarchiving a shoe that had been archived for like the past 50, 60 years. And like, it being a collaboration with Dore and me just being a fan of Dore, it just made sense. And they are dropping 2 new colorways. I want to say in April is going to be that black and green, and then that black with the green Nike check mark. Like, or it might be cream. I forget. But like, I think y'all should stop sleeping on this, especially if they keep going with this collaboration. I do eventually want to see like, you know, a full tan pair with the leather, because I did say when I did the review on these shoes, the canvas pair does kind of feel like a little different than like the full leather pair, which is a black pair. And I feel like the all black pair just like tends to be like a better shoe in quality and like maintenance. But that's just my opinion. But again, this is going to be the Nike Astro Grabber Dore collection shoes. Now, continuing the conversation of things that I think people slept on, this is going to be the Vans Off the Wall half cap with a Vibram sole. I feel like people heavily slept on these. I mean, heavily. I'm starting to see more people talk about it currently, but I feel like at release when these dropped, and when I saw images early on, and then even when they dropped and I saw them go from like full price and then they went to like discount 3 months later, I feel like people heavily slept on these. Like, these are fire, bro. Like, to take a shoe that I used to rock when I was in middle school, like I had a pair or maybe 2 pairs of half caps growing up, to take a shoe and to reimagine it and put a Vibram sole on it, that's how you reimagine a shoe that is a staple within your business. So Vans, I take my hat off to y'all. I'm not going to take it off because my hairline is cooked, but shout out to y'all. And also, matter of fact, while I still got y'all attention, let me just talk to Vans real quick, everyone. I'll be right back. I've seen the other colorways that y'all plan to drop with these. Let's go ahead and drop those, especially that pair with the red bottom. Let's drop them. All right, everyone, come back in. And we just had a little private conversation. We were just talking about something. But again, this is going to be the Vans Off the Wall half cap Vibram sole shoe that they dropped. Amazing. Now, y'all know I was going to do this sneaker very early in this video. This is going to be the best sneaker drop that happened in 2024, the CDG Foamposite. Like, I feel like there's just certain shoes that I don't have to explain. Like, if this isn't in your top 5 of sneakers that dropped last year, I just don't know what we're talking about anymore. Like, what's there to discuss? All right, next up is going to be the 2002 R from New Balance. This is going to be their partnership that they did with Salehi Bembury. This is without a doubt top 5 Salehi New Balance partnerships, like top 5. Honestly, it might be top 3. It's just like the colorway, the silhouette, the laces, like everything about the Water Be the Guys was just fire. And although I do like the orange pair, I feel like this color was just, it was just different, bro. The salmon little mesh, the blue, like that pop of blue was just crazy, bro. Like, I always try to give props are due. And when people are doing great things, you just have to acknowledge that they're doing great things. Salehi has been killing it at New Balance. Honestly, Salehi, Joe, and I don't know. There's another third person I can't think of their name right now. But like, they have been running through New Balance and giving them some of the best work they've produced. But these are definitely top 10 New Balances with collaborations, period. Like, this is a top 10 collab shoe, and I'm not arguing with anyone. Keeping it on Salehi, this is, again, top 3. So if that was top 3, I would put the Water Be the Guides at the 1 slot. The 2 slot would be the Magma Be Hots. Like, first of all, we have to talk about how limited these were. Like, these were a very limited run. I don't even think New Balance dropped this on their website. I think you can only get this on his website via Sponge. And, like, there wasn't even a lot of those when these dropped. Like, this pair, the 1906R Magma B Hots, definitely top 3. This is in a 2-slot. Water beater guys are number 1 for me. Like, the fact that I have these, again, like, you ever just, like, you remember when you got into sneakers and, like, they would make you genuinely happy? Like, you would be on Craigslist trying to find somebody to swap shoes with, or, like, other forums trying to find people to, like, get certain shoes that you couldn't get, or, like, when you were lining up at sneaker stores in the mall to, you know, when you're camping out. Like, these, bro, are just, it gives me that feeling every time I look in my closet and I see them. I'm just like, yeah, these are definitely that. And I know everyone's not going to agree with me. It's fine if you have a different list. I feel like, why is everyone, like, you can say, like, oh, this is my favorite sneaker all the time. And people be like, well, that's not my favorite sneaker. And it's like, well, I didn't ask you. But keeping it on New Balance, man, the straight red New Balances, which I think these are the what are these? 990s V3s. I think these are V3s. The straight red collabs, these are definitely, without a doubt, top 10 New Balance collaboration shoes. Like, these were so ahead of their game, bro. And I wanted these for so long. And to find a pair in this condition was definitely just like a great find. It's just like, it's simple, but it does so much, bro. Like, sometimes a collab doesn't need to be so crazy with colors and so off the wall with the silhouette. Like, if you can just execute on the color palette, I feel like you are pushing yourself in the realm of, like, making a great collab shoe, which I believe the Stray Rats are definitely top 10 collab shoes from New Balance. We don't have to have the same list. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to have the same list. This is my list. This is definitely top 10 collab shoes from them. All right, so moving away from sneakers, I have the ALD Garden Mules right here. I have this white pair, and then I also have this yellow pair. Now, I've talked about these on 3 separate occasions on my YouTube channel, but these, without a doubt, amongst all the clogs that I do own, these are very much so still my favorite clogs that I own, hence why I have 2 pairs and I don't have 2 pairs of any other clogs. But these are so great. But again, I do have 3 videos talking about these on my channel. All right, so keeping the conversation on clogs, this is going to be the Super Birkins from Birkenstock. Now, I did make a video talking about my experience in these. And at the time, I feel like my criticism on these were kind of like harsh. I've had these for a year now. I can definitely say they're a little bit more comfortable now, given that I've had them for almost a full year. I've put a little bit more wear into them, and I have kind of broken them into form to my foot. So I feel like they're not as uncomfortable as I said previously in the video, but they definitely aren't my favorite pair of clogs that I own. Next up, I have the clogs from Garden Air. Now, I did say that the ALD Garden Mules are my favorite clogs, but if you're somebody who hasn't owned clogs and you're trying to get into clogs, I will definitely say I recommend these instead of the ALD Garden Mules. These are a better entry price, and they also just have a wide variety of colors. I feel like the Garden Mules only have possibly 6 colorways. I think these have 15 colorways. They have green, they have blue, they have, orange, they have brown, they have cream color, they have olive. They have such a wide array of colors that I feel like if you are trying to buy a pair of clogs, this is probably the better brand that you should buy them from, just because they are a little bit more structured, honestly. Although they're not the sleekness that I want, that's why I like the ALD Garden Mules. I still think these are very great if you're trying to get into clogs. So Garden Air clogs are definitely great. I would put these at the 2 slot. So if the ALD Garden Mules are 1, the Garden Airs are 2. All right, so next up I have the Veneta Carter Tims. This is definitely a more recent purchase. These are great. This is my first pair of Tims. So right off the bat, I was going into this being biased because I didn't grow up wearing Tims. This is my first pair of Tims. So I was like, they can't be that comfortable. I know people on the East Coast live and die by Tims, but I was like, they can't be that great. After wearing these for a full week, I'm talking being on a plane, traveling in them, driving in them, I can say they're not the most comfortable shoes in the world. Of course, I'm not going to say that, but they beat all of my expectations that I had for these. I thought these were going to be bad. I thought they were going to be uncomfortable. So when I made my review on these, I was going into it like ready, like, oh yeah, these are terrible. People just be gassing everything up. But these boots are actually fire. All right, so next up, I have these Collegium suede combat boots. I have them right here in this gray. Then I also have them in the black. This is a partnership that they did with Mark Leshark. And again, this was just at a point in time where I was really into boots, heavily combat boots, pirate boots, Doug boots, boots. Like I was just into buying a lot of boots. But I actually got gifted this pair right here because this pair, there used to be straps going across the top, kind of giving like a more rustic look. But then like they started to pop off a lot. And I reached out to the company and they're like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. We actually tested for that. So then they sent me these to compensate for the, the breakage on this pair. But they are great boots, honestly. Collegium's also just one of those brands that's just made a name for themselves in footwear. So if you haven't heard of that brand, you definitely should check them out. And I think they should do more variations of this boot. I'm talking like in an olive, a cream color or something to kind of like keep this collection alive, because I don't think I really see them doing boots anymore. I'm all foamed up. I ain't gonna cap. All right, so these are gonna be the Flight Posit. This is gonna be the Year of the Horse pair. This is going to be the metallic gold pair they just recently dropped back in November of 2024. And I just very recently found this out. They didn't do many exposed pairs when it came to Flight Posits. A lot of Flight Posits have the zipper closure here like this pair. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know that. I've had these shoes since my junior year in high school. So these are without a doubt the longest lasting shoes in my closet. I've had these for almost a decade now. It might be more than a decade. Damn, I'm getting old. But again, I've always just been a fan of foam posits. Foam posits, clog posits, Flight Posits, Barkley posits. Maybe. I don't know. But just overall, the foam posit line has always intrigued me just because, like, at the time that they were dropping, I was just like, I haven't seen shoes like this ever. And the Galaxies just dropped and I wasn't able to get the Galaxies. Nike, if anyone at Nike is watching this, man, I'm just so bummed about not being able to get the Galaxy foam posits. Like, can someone help me with those? All right, so next up, I have two pairs of Bapestas. These are going to be the Cause Bapestas right here. I don't know if you can see that. That lighting is bad. And then I also have the SpongeBob pair that dropped in 07 or 08. I'm not an expert on Bapestas. I know my homie Keezy, he's the expert when it comes to Bapestas. So whenever I'm thinking of getting a pair of Bapestas, I usually consult with him about what he thinks because he knows the ins and outs of that company, especially during Nigo's era. I don't wear these often, nor do I wear this pair often anymore just because, like, that patent leather just cracks so crazy. Y'all can't even see it. It just cracks so crazy, and, like, I do want to keep them in a certain condition, so I don't rock these shoes as much. And, again, I know I'm Mr. CEO of Rock Your Sneakers, but sometimes you just want to keep things in a form to where, like, they still look good, even though you've worn them. And we have the Clog Posit. Now, again, it was just great to see this shoe come back. I was on a hunt to find a pair of Clog Posits before they actually re-released. I want to say back in like 2021, 2022, I was looking for a pair of Clog Posits, but it was basically impossible to find a pair in a condition that you would reasonably pay for. Because they were like, they had their initial release back in like early 2000s. And then, like, they never re-released. Like, it was actually ahead of its time. All right, so next up, I have the Saucony Pro Grid Omni 9. This is going to be the J-Tips to-do list. Now, I don't need to discuss how hyped this sneaker was. I mean, whether it be Complex, whether it be Hypebeast, whether it be Nice Kicks, whether it be, individual people who are well-known within the sneaker culture, everyone had these shoes on their list. I just think it's crazy. Again, I've talked about this in the video about these, but it's crazy to have people lining up down the street for Saucony. Not to say it's not a great brand, not to say they've been around for a very long time, so it's not a bad thing to say, but to have people lining up down the street like it's Galaxy foam posits, like it's some Jordans, like people are lined up to get Sauconys. All right, so next up is going to be the Kiko A6. This is going to be the Gel Infinities, and I know I'm missing one part of the name for these shoes, but listen, A6, y'all do so many collabs with Kiko. And don't get me wrong, everything Kiko puts out for the most part is gas. Y'all need to revisit these just one good time. I'm talking the black pair, the green pair, this pair. Maybe do some fun colors because I feel like Kiko always initiates a lot of colors with his collabs. Y'all need to revisit this silhouette. Please, I beg of you. Like, when I got these shoes, and I got them for a fairly decent price, the person over on Grailed was like, if you message me on IG, I'll give you a better deal. And he gave me a pretty decent deal considering how long ago this collab happened and the condition that they're in. Granted, they didn't come with the box, but again, this is just one of those shoes that I absolutely need to have. I do want the black pair and the green pair. I don't know when I'll get those because these are fairly high priced, whether it be on StockX, Grailed. I've seen one pair on Depop, but like the Gel Infinities, I think it's called the Saucony. Words are hard. Again, Gel Infinities, love these sneakers. This is definitely one of my top 5 sneakers in my closet, without a doubt. Now, for all my people who actively go to the gym, this is going to be the Saucony Triumph 4. This is a very old pair, almost 2 years, and this is a new pair that I just received in January. If you go to the gym actively, I definitely recommend these shoes. Like, again, this was my everyday shoe in the gym, and now it's kind of beat in. But I wear these faithfully to the gym. Whenever I'm like looking at all my shoes to wear to the gym, I'm like, And I'm acting like I'm not going to pick the Triumph 4. And I end up going for the Triumph 4 every time. So again, this is a great gym shoe. Old pair versus a new pair. Still holds up. All right, so next up we have the Bodega Saucony Wave Grid, I think these are called. I actually cannot fit these. So if you're a size 9 and you live in the US and you want these shoes, the Bodega Saucony collab shoes, if you want these, I will send you these. All you have to do is cover the price of shipping. That's all I care for. So if you want these, comment below that you want these. These are a size 9. Even if you don't want these and you want to gift them to somebody else, I just can't fit them. So I want to give them to somebody else. And I feel like if you made it this far in this video, you definitely deserve something. But again, Saucony Bodega collab Wave Grid, I think that's the name of these. These are a great shoe if I could fit them. All right, so next up we have this A6 Unaffected. I actually forget what silhouette these shoes are, but A6 has been on a legendary run. I feel like this last year was the year of the underdogs, bro, because we know for so long Nike, Adidas, Reebok, you know, even some may even say Reebok wasn't even up there, but like for so long it was just the main staples: Jordan Brand, Nike, and Adidas. I feel like last year we saw Saucony take off. A6 was already on a legendary run since 2023. You know, Reebok has some great collabs. And I feel like last year and the year before was just like the year of the underdog. Solomon was doing some great things, even though Solomon is like very hyped now. Again, I got sidetracked, but this pair was definitely dope. Comfortability is just engraved into the brand A6. I've had multiple of their shoes, and I haven't had a single problem with this thing, with this brand. The only thing I will say is, I've mentioned this before, I'm just not a fan of like smart lacing. I'm very much so a traditionalist when it comes to lacing, because I feel like with traditional lacing systems, it provides so much freedom to do different things with the lacing. And with the smart lacing or like the tech lacing, you just can't do as much and you're limited to the lacing that you have. Next up, I got the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s. Now, if you follow me on TikTok or if you follow me on Instagram, do you know I just went on my very first run outside. I got so tired of just like doing the stair climber at the gym or running on the treadmill or riding the bike. So I went on my very first run outside. This is the first pair of shoes that I had. And I'll just say it definitely aided me in my run. I'm not a runner. So like literally I ran a mile and I was gassed, but then I realized I had to run back to the car. So great running shoe. This is my first experience running. So I will always remember this silhouette going forward. But overall, just a great shoe, and also just like a dope colorway. Got this panda like splashes, black, white, green. And I know green is my favorite color. And if you didn't know, now you know. But again, Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. All right, second to last pair of shoes. This is going to be the Salomon Adventure 7 hiking boot. I'm surprised these aren't getting more attention. Just because if you go take a look on Grailed and you just type in Salomon Adventure 7 boots, there are so many great pairs out there. And I think I still, to this day, have the only video reviewing these boots. So it's always dope. Every once in a while, I'll forget that I made that video and somebody will comment. Like in 2 months, I can expect a comment. Someone's like, you're still the only person who made a video about this. I just think it's dope. Like, I thought these boots were super dope. I saw them in person on one of my managers, saw his pair, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely need a pair of those. And since then, I don't think I'll cycle these out of my closet. They've just been a staple in my closet. I put these together with multiple fits, and they just fit. And I wish Solomon, I know I'm begging a lot on this video because there's so many silhouettes that I like that people just aren't making anymore, whether it be from Asics, whether it be from Solomon, whether it be from Vans. Like, bring these back, and I promise you, that P was probably crazy in the mic. I promise you, these will do well in today's time. And all you gotta do is just do it once. You ain't gotta oversaturate the market. Just do it one time, and I'm good. I just need a new pair that has like new, structure, sole. Like, I just need a new pair that has that feel, because these were very beaten when I got them. But overall, I very much so still love the Solomon Adventure 7 hiking boot, and I think they should bring these back. They probably didn't think I would do these, but this is gonna be the Chukka boots from the brand Great. Now, I know we have my little back and forth on social media. I had a partnership with them. They didn't pay me on time. I had to send people to their comments. We're fine now. I got paid for it. I talked to the owner or, somebody that was high up in the company. We got it all squared away. I would be hating if I did not mention the Chukka boot from Greats, just because they have survived. I've had these about 2 years now. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, things in my closet have a cycle life of about 1 year before I'm questioning, do I really want to keep it? Am I even wearing it? And then for the most part, most shoes don't make it past that point. But these have actually surprised me because they've stuck around. I haven't got rid of them, and I still wear them to this day. So again, it would be hating if I didn't want to mention the Chukka boot from Greats. These are actually great. But that is gonna wrap up my sneaker collection video. Again, I feel like this is the best my sneaker collection has ever been, because most of the shoes that you've seen, or the boots or the clogs that you've seen, they get daily rotations, weekly rotation, monthly rotation. There's not a shoe, a boot, or a clog in my closet currently that's not getting some daylight or seeing the pavement outside. I wear most of my shoes now. Before, I would let some just sit for too long, and I was just why am I hoarding so much stuff? If I don't rock it within a month or two, I'm probably gonna get rid of it. Other than the Nike Fire Red 3s, because I see that more of a sentimental thing. Other than that shoe, most of my shoes get worn. So that is always going to be the plan with my closet, whether it be clothes or shoes. If I am not rocking it within a month or two, and maybe 4 months go by and I don't even think to touch them, it's probably time to get rid of them, just because I'm no longer interested in that thing, and I'm trying to refine my closet to where everything is getting used. I don't want anything just sitting there taking up space when I could replace it with something that would actually be worn more. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite sneaker from my collection, whether it be boot, whether it be clog, whether it be an actual sneaker. Let me know what was your favorite sneaker from my collection. But again, I'm always curious, what is your top 3 sneakers in your collection? Let me know what sneakers you're rocking on a daily. But without further ado, like I always do, I'll catch you in the next one.
But I love the way you work it. Ay, I love the way you work it for me.